Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is the daily forecast. For those of you that are new to me, this is a reading for all signs for anybody who sees it. It's originally created for Thursday, the 22nd of July, but if you're seeing it on a date that's different, I would take it more for the date that you're seeing it on than the date that it was created for. Please check out the drop-down menu below the daily video. In there is all my information as to how to get in touch with me through the Linktree link. And there's the PayPal link, my social media links, stuff like that. So if you want to follow me, that's all there. If you want to support the channel, a great way to do so is by hitting that thumbs up button if you enjoy the reading. It greatly helps the channel. And subscribing to the channel if you're new to me, and following hitting the notification bell so you get notified when I go live. Sharing out the video, leaving questions or comments, all of that is greatly appreciated. So feel free to do that wherever you think people can utilize it. And basically it's a broad spectrum reading, so I speak in broad terms to reach as many people as possible. Feel free to apply it to your situation however you see fit. But understand that if it doesn't match up to your situation, that's okay. It doesn't mean anything's wrong. You just might be working on something different or on a different, trajectory than what I'm picking up on. So no worries there. All right, so let's get into this and see what card we've got going on for today. And our card is, we've got a new one. Latisha of Earth, yet another court card, which is interesting to me. The plant is yucca, and it is, I don't know a lot about yucca. I know that it grows in the desert, obviously, from the design, but the Adelitas of Earth, this would be the Knight of Pentacles. We've seen a lot of court this month, in this deck in particular. The Knight of Pentacles would be patient, would be discerning, would be careful, would be sort of maybe a bit slower, very, very grounded, very, very careful about, not careful, but careful may not be the right word. I mean, certainly careful would fit, but, it's interesting that yesterday we had the Page of Wands, which is a much more like fun, light, risky kind of energy, but in a good way, right? That sort of youthful exuberance that comes with pages. With the Knights, it's a little bit more adult. It's a little bit more serious, right? They're probably out of the court cards. I think they and the Kings can be the most serious. But when I look at this card and I think about, the Knight of Pentacles to me is one of the slowest cards in the deck. And that's not a bad thing if we're really trying to pay attention, if we're really trying to place focus, if we're really trying to be careful and make sure that we're doing everything sort of in the correct, order or steps, that sort of a thing. When I look at this card, and I think about yucca and how yucca can grow in the desert, how it can draw water from the ground, even when there is none, right? It can draw moisture and stay alive. To me, that sort of also kind of ties into that patience that the Knight will have, that sort of steadiness, that, how a yucca plant can maybe, make the most of its resources in an intelligent sort of way. For the yucca, it's probably out of survival, but the Knight of Pentacles wouldn't necessarily be that way. But against great odds, the yucca tree can sort of grow, right? As far as the odds of the desert. And so can the Knight of Pentacles. He's kind of, relentless is a strong word, but he sort of keeps moving forward. He's that, if there's in the story of the tortoise and the hare, the Knight of Pentacles is the tortoise, right? That slow and steady wins the race kind of energy. And so when I think about that, I like that we have this today because we should feel grounded. We should feel protected. We should feel dedicated. We should feel, practical, clear thinking in a way. And the reason why I say clear thinking is because we're entering into that phase where we should be coming into that Knight of Swords, which is the end of the week card for this week. So that is that clear mind too. The clarity of mind is the swords aspect of this, coupled with the Knight of Pentacles. To me, it should be a very practical, intelligent perspective that we're carrying with ourselves today. The desert to me in this card, yes, it represents challenges around us, but it's not, off-putting in any way as far as I can tell. When I look at this Adelita of Air, she's even taking the fronds from, I think you would call them fronds, or the leaves from the yucca, and making these sort of spiritual symbols. I don't know the name for them, unfortunately. I do know that they're spiritual symbols. But to me, it's kind of like taking our resources and putting them to good use, even in the midst of maybe adversity or challenge. So if we're being challenged in some way or shape or form by our environment, by situations or people, that doesn't have to stop us necessarily. It just requires us to be a little bit more forthright in how we approach the situation. Maybe we need to slow down our approach, or pay attention to the steps that we're taking, and adjust accordingly, kind of thing. But the Knight of Pentacles will do that. They won't, there's no giving up with the Knight of Pentacles. He's got a tenacity, probably the strongest tenacity or dedication out of all of the cards, in my opinion, right? Because he is that deep, sort of grounded earth energy. So keeping that about us and not allowing, working on what's right in front of us, i.e. like this symbol that's being created from the leaves of the yucca, rather than looking at the desert, allows us to actually see the beauty in the desert, to see the possibility within a situation that might feel dire or not opportune to us, and allows us to continue to work forward and move forward, just maybe at smaller steps, or with a more acute focus, if that makes sense, right? So that we can be productive, so that we can get to our goal. We might find that things slow down around us today. That would certainly be an indication of the Knight of Pentacles too. But we don't have to let that slowdown completely stop us or bring us, frustration. I still feel like with this Adelita of Air, she's still getting work done, or they're still moving forward. They're still sort of honoring, not only the earth that we see in this card, but also kind of the spirit through the weaving of these spiritual symbols, right? Connecting that earth and spirit together, and still producing whatever it is that we need. Although the pace, like I said, may slow down, or we might feel challenged from the outside. But then that's when we sort of dig a little deeper, gather our focus about us, plan a little bit more in detail, right? And we move forward. Now, here is our Fairy Medicine Oracle. I don't think we've seen her before. This is card number 28, which becomes a 10, which becomes the number 1, which brings the focus to the self, in my opinion. The word is dragon. A cycle is coming to completion. Release energies that are no longer serving you. Very, very interesting. Kind of sexy card, if I do say so myself. But I'm going to say this. Dragons are definitely, obviously mythical creatures. They're creatures of protection and magic. And definitely, I would say this ties into sort of the spirit aspect of things. I like that we see these two together. I like that it feels to me that whatever we might be, in the dragon card, it says that we're like a cycle may be coming to an end, right? Numerologically, the focus boils down to number 1, which is the focus is on ourselves. What's best for us? What serves us? Excuse me, need a coffee. And what I mean by serves us is, like, even though dragons are these sort of powerful creatures, they also usually were in servitude to other, to maybe kingdoms or Merlin. I don't know. To me, I see the dragon similar to how I see the knight in a way, where they can be in sort of a servitude to us, right? So this dragon empowers us to potentially find the completions that we need, the strength that we need within ourselves, the fire that we saw maybe in yesterday's Page of Wands, right? It's the fire sort of emanating from that dragon's mouth. But we're making it more practical, more, physical in a way, with this Knight of Pentacles energy coming in, right? Where we're putting it to a practical sort of measured use, and we're able to really, truly with the Knight of Pentacles, to me, he's so grounded, he's so sort of real, slow, methodical, that the changes that we should be making today should be long-lasting and effective, is kind of the feeling that I'm getting. Taking this patience, taking this energy and the energy of dragon and sort of combining the two and bringing yourself forward should bring about a shift or a graduation in a way from, you know, something that maybe wasn't working for us or that we've been dealing with for a while. It's now time to sort of move on or change that, and we're going to do so with the practicality of the Knight of Pentacles. It's going to be very real and like, I guess, physical in a way, right? Like the steps should be, I don't know if obvious is the right word, but it feels like it's like sort of obvious. It's right there in front of us. We need to just sort of take it and move forward and make that commitment, be dedicated like the Knight of Pentacles, and allow that change to take place, right? And then sort of the magic of the dragon will also kind of help to carry us through, solve the spiritual aspects of some of the changes that may be needing to take place, where the earthiness of the night will affect those changes in the physical, right? Does that make sense? I think that makes sense. So let's go to the grounding stone. And for the grounding stone, okay, we have knowledge on carnelian, which associates with the first chakra. So this to me would be very much a beautiful, deep knowledge. I like the redness of this stone because it kind of associates also with the heat of the fire from dragon. The knowledge is within us. It also kind of takes me to the redness of that desert, right? And that desert can be whatever this situation is that we might need to depart from or let go of in a very real, committed way, right? That could be, the source of sort of, I don't know why, but I'm going to this place of inflammation, right? The redness of that desert, the redness of the knowledge stone to me, and then the redness of the fire in dragon says to me, is there a situation around us that no longer serves us, that could cause us, upset, and what do we, in grounding in this knowledge, what do we know about this situation? How long have we been maybe giving our energy or our attention to a situation that no longer is serving us, that's no longer bringing us, anything that's positive, right? Now is the time to kind of dwell in that knowledge that this needs to change, that this needs to be different, and then to begin to take those steady steps towards the change that you seek, right? And being patient with yourself, maybe being patient with the situation, but allowing that change to take place, taking heart in the fact that change, all we have to do is sort of dwell in that knowledge and then commit to the change that we seek, and then begin to go about taking first steps towards achieving that, right? We can make that happen even if it seems overwhelming or larger than us, i.e. like this desert would be. I hope that makes sense, guys. There is an opportunity here to move forward. Remember too, underneath this knowledge stone is that blessed stone. There are blessings in all of this. So even if departures are taking place or changes are coming into effect, allow yourself to try and see them as the blessings that they are, to gain that clarity that's coming through the Knight of Swords. All right, so that is your forecast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow, and hopefully you guys will have a wonderful day. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching. Leave questions and comments, share the video out. You heard everything in the beginning, and thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful day, and take care. Bye-bye.